Good morning everyone and welcome to Stretford Paddock. I am Alex and as you can see I am outside Old Trafford here to bring you another Manchester United news this glorious Thursday morning. See, we're in a bit of a different spot. That's because it's so sunny outside Old Trafford this morning. Now to start with, let's get into last night's results. Now, a few results: Leicester City getting 2-0 win against Fulham, closing the gap on us, going 2 points behind us on 42 points. Manchester City comfortably beating Burnley for 2-0. They now go 3 points ahead with that game in hand, which is against Everton, so not the easiest of game in hands, but also the fantastic result of Brighton Hove Albion winning 1-0 against Liverpool, meaning that they are 4 points behind Manchester United going into their big game this weekend where they play Manchester City. So Liverpool, Man City this weekend, Manchester United, Everton, all of them in the top six at this moment in time. If United can beat Everton early on Saturday evening before Liverpool go to Manchester City go to Liverpool, on Sunday afternoon, this could be where the title race gets really exciting again. You know, Manchester United could potentially gain points on Manchester City. Who knows what's going to happen? But anyway, really big weekend of football ahead of us in terms of the top six. Now, also in last night's results, we had a couple of our lone players excel, and I'm going to start with Jesse Lingard at West Ham. What a performance on his debut at West Ham, getting the man of the match and 2 goals. Jesse Lingard, a lot of people said that when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer let him go on loan to West Ham, and Solskjaer says he wants to go and prove himself, he wants to show him and hopefully have him back. Everyone laughed that off and said, you know what, that's not going to happen. He's gone, that's it, that's his career done. And also, a lot of people saying he was never going to play in the Premier League, he wasn't even good enough for Premier League, never mind Manchester United, but he showed last night what a talent he still is. And the 2 goals last night, maybe he will come back to Manchester United. Ollie said this before about his loan deals, about Alexis Sanchez and about Chris Smalling so far, where they've just gone and eventually completed permanent deals. I think that will be the case with Jesse Lingard, but do you know what? Everyone was happy to see him on the score sheet, playing well and smiling when he played against Aston Villa last night. Last night, Tahith Chong played for Club Bruges against 3rd Division side in the Belgian Cup, and he managed to get on the score sheet in their 6-1 victory. Not the hugest thing with it being a 3rd Division side, and I'm not expecting him to be coming back to Manchester United and being a star player, but at the same time it's another question mark over Tahith Chong's future. What is he going to do? Is he gone with United? Is he completely done? Or is he going to come back and compete for a space on that right hand side where we obviously need players? So next we are moving on to Bruno Fernandes. Yes, Bruno Fernandes, that amazing guy that scored that many goals, had that many assists. What a player Bruno Fernandes has been. And in that article written by Laurie Whitwell, he talks about the possibility of Bruno Fernandes signing a brand new contract. Now, he's on about £100,000 a week at the minute, which is where they've doubled his wages from Sporting Lisbon. But if you think about it, at Manchester United, £100,000 isn't the biggest wage when you consider David De Gea is on £375,000 a week. Paul Pogba over £300,000 a week. The scope there to triple Bruno Fernandes' wages to become one of our top paid players and to be because of him being one of our top performers. This was apparently discussed with Manchester United in November, only 10 months into his 5-year contract with Manchester United. Just seeing the impact that he has had, being the top performer at Manchester United, has made them think, do we need to offer him a contract so early on in his career? Now, I don't think anything's going to happen too soon, but I do expect in the next 18 months him to sign an extension and him to be on the sort of wages that kind of mirror the top performers at Manchester United. Now, also interesting in that article, it talks about how the transfer itself came about, some of the scouting that went on, how Mick Phelan did a character scouting report on Bruno Fernandes and just seeing that it wasn't just his technical ability, but the way that he was going after refs, going after other players in defeats and in tough games for Sporting Lisbon, that made them think, do you know what, Bruno Fernandes is the man we need at Manchester United, not only on the pitch but in the dressing room, trying to lift the levels of these players. They also mentioned how because Manchester United missed out on Erling Haaland, that was what accelerated the signing of Bruno Fernandes. Really good article in The Athletic looking at Bruno Fernandes' fantastic start to his Manchester United career. Now, finally this morning, it wouldn't be a news without mentioning Jadon Sancho, and this report today comes from Sport Build via loads of sources in the UK and also Sports Witness, mentioning that Manchester United will potentially be getting on a lower price than what Dortmund were demanding last summer, which is that really news at the minute? Is that, I don't really know, because obviously he's an extra year into his contract. He's been performing okay, but hasn't been performing to the heights he was last season. And also, it's a global pandemic. You know, all this stuff that's been going on, obviously they're not going to be wanting the same sort of prices as last summer. Last summer, Dortmund wanted €120 million for Jadon Sancho, which is around £100 million. The fee has now been touted to be reduced to €100 million, which is around, give or take, £88 million. I still think that's a lot of money for Jadon Sancho, and I think that, who knows, depending on a couple of players for Manchester United, mainly Amad Diallo, who was spoken about yesterday by James Cooper, who's potentially going to be getting his debut for Manchester United in the coming weeks. Maybe Manchester United aren't going to look at Jadon Sancho and maybe going to look at alternatives. Now, I definitely think we need someone on the right-hand side, and I think Diallo would need to come in and absolutely tear up trees and be unbelievable to say that we don't need someone who's going to start on the right-hand side for Manchester United. But maybe Manchester United look at other alternatives. I've heard Steve talk all the time about Traore from Wolves. Maybe he comes in on a slightly less fee, something around the £40-50 million mark, something that isn't he's our star man, and maybe we have a bit of competition down that right hand side. You've got Mason Greenwood doing it at the minute. You've got Diallo Traore that's going to come in and potentially compete for that spot. Add someone else to that mix. Do we need another £100 million player straight away into that team? I'm not too sure. Jadon Sancho is going to be in every single news report all the way through the end of this season and into next summer, depending on where he goes. Now, there's also rumours he's linked to Liverpool and Chelsea, and maybe United will do what they did with the likes of Sanchez. Maybe they're going to go, we really don't want you to go there, we may not really need you, but we're going to fork out and sign you just to spite them, because I would not want to see Jadon Sancho playing in a Chelsea shirt or in a Liverpool shirt and competing in the Premier League against us. I still think he's a very, very good player. So maybe that is on the back of everyone's mind at Manchester United. That is all from me this morning at Old Trafford. That is all your Manchester United news. Make sure you're staying tuned to the channel. We have an Academy review later on today, as well as Stretford Paddock Live tonight with Joe Smith and Jay Motti. So make sure you are liking this video. Make sure you're subscribing and hitting that notification bell to be alerted every time we go live and all that good stuff. So thank you very much for joining. I've been Alex, and I'll see you next time.